Red, white, and blue lights flashing in the night. Stars on the banner, pyro burning bright. From the back roads to the big time stage, we call it like it is. No script, no cage. Freedom rings, steel chair sermons and title kings. From Friday nights to pay-per-view, we salute the fight, that's what we do. No suits telling us what to say, no filter, no fear, we came to play. This is Aaron Loves Wrestling, Unfiltered. Aaron Loves Wrestling presents. From the first bell to the last stand. This is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love, and this is Aaron Loves Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rhodes to Bright Marquee. Wrestling is in my blood, there's no hate in me. Hear the roar when the music hits, goosebumps when the champion appears. Every style, every fight, every ring, one love for the business. I am here to bring the love and the passion in every review. Aaron Loves Wrestling. AEW, WWE, NWA, New Japan, TNA. It doesn't matter about the brand, I love it all. Aaron Loves Wrestling. My heart is in the ring. No walls, no wars, just the passion for the business that I bring. Aaron Loves Wrestling. One world, one voice.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Aaron Loves Wrestling Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Love himself, Aaron. I'm here to share many things that have happened in wrestling this week. I want to cover New Japan, New Beginnings. That was this past week. I want to cover AEW Colliion. That was on Saturday night that I watched after the Elimination Chamber. I want to cover WWE Raw from last night, and then preview NWA Power coming on tonight, and Dynamite, AEW Dynamite, and what's going to take place on SmackDown and next week on Raw, plus other news, some online drama happening in the world of professional wrestling and other news today. So let's get into this. I love professional wrestling. I enjoy it. But first, let's shout out to the sponsor, Woo Energy. That's right. Get yourself some Woo Energy. Woo Energy and get 20% off your Woo Energy today. I love Woo Energy. It's my go-to energy drink. It's delicious, and you can use the promo code Dr. Love to get 20% off. That's DRLOVE and get 20% off your purchase. I love Woo Energy. Again, it's my go-to, and I just love it. So get yourself some Woo Energy today. I highly recommend the variety pack so you can try many different flavors. They got dragon fruit here, which is pretty good. Lemon. They got pineapple berry, which is my second favorite. But my all-time favorite, my first favorite, is strawberry banana. So get yourself some Woo Energy today. Use promo code Dr. Love and get 20% off today. So let's get into this. All right. So we had on Saturday night, we had AEW Collision. Pretty good show here. I enjoyed these matches. I enjoyed these matches. I enjoyed Collision on Saturday night. And many people want to take shot at the ratings and fan attendance and blah, 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 which is stupid and ridiculous because who cares? Who cares about the ratings? Who cares about the fan attendance? If the wrestling show is good, it's good. All right? I can care less if there's 50 people in the crowd or 50,000. Wrestling is wrestling. There's good wrestling on regardless of the fan attendance, regardless of the ratings. And if that's how you that's what you base off of how you watch wrestling, then you're missing out on other good wrestling because you're on Because you think, oh, well, this has got to be better because there's more people watching, or this has got to suck because there's not many people watching. No, that's not true. But Collision was a really great show. Really, some really great matches happened on Collision. And we kicked things off with MJF. It was great to have MJF on Collision. I want to see this more with some of the top stars on Collision. It will also help draw the ratings as well. And it would be good for the show to have MJF and others like Hangman Adam Page on Collision. I mean, they got a lot of great stars on the show. Tommaso Ciampa, they got Top Flight, they got Kevin Knight, and all them. They're all on Collision, and that's what I love about Collision. Many people joke on Collision, but Collision has really great wrestling matches. It is Saturday night professional wrestling, and it's good wrestling, and it's fun. So I enjoy Collision. I enjoy seeing the matches. One of my match of the year candidates came from Collision, El Colon versus Commander. It was on the January 10th episode of Collision. So Collision has some really great wrestling matches. So I highly recommend watching Collision. So MJF came out. He's talking about his match with Hangman Adam Page. Texas death. He wants the rule to change, the stipulation from Texas death, because he don't think he should do it. That he is a wrestler, a real professional wrestler, and he doesn't do these death matches, indie bum matches. So that was a really good line there, because he's taking shots at some of the critics out there that call AEW glorified indie promotion. So I love that he does that. So in the middle of the promo, out comes the Jet, Kevin Knight, and he interrupted MJF. He said to her in everything MJF was saying, and if he really wants to talk about getting something done, that's all Knight has been doing, is stacking up wins. And Kevin Knight has been stacking up wins. And so he gets the job done, and he has been winning against some top stars on AEW, and he's been having some kind of job matches. Like he had Mansoor on Dynamite last week, which was good. It was a good match, but it wasn't. Mansoor is pretty much from Ring of Honor, really a good wrestler, but not a top talent. So, but other than that, Kevin Knight has been stacking up wins against some top talent. So with that, he said that he's going to get the job done when MJF tried to weasel his way out of the stipulation. When MJF tried to walk out on Hangman last week, he had Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey, Bandito, and Brody King. They came out, stopped MJF, and said, "Nah, you ain't going to weasel out that easy." And then they found out that he used a red coin. So that's what Tony Khan set the stipulation for Texas death. And of course, if Hangman loses, he can never challenge for the AEW World Championship again, which I'm hoping doesn't happen. I'm pulling for my guy Hangman Adam Page, because I think he should be in the world title picture. So I hope he doesn't lose. So Kevin Knight proposed to rectify the situation, as people are tired of hearing MJF's tired routine about how much better he is than everyone and how much more money he has. And increasingly, so Kevin Knight continues saying that he dressed better than MJF, and then Kevin Knight has more swag than MJF. And Kevin Knight's been having some swag the past few weeks on AEW. So, I got to give a shout out to Kevin Knight. But he said, not to mention, the people in Denver know it, the people all around the world know it, that the Jet is just way more handsome than you. And I love that line right there. So then it sets up a match for the AEW World Championship this Wednesday on Dynamite. Kevin Knight versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. Now, I don't like that it is for the World Championship, because it puts we know who's going to win, MJF. Okay, no brainer. Is it going to be a great wrestling match? Sure. But I would rather have been not for the world title or for the AEW Eliminator match. You win the match, you get a shot at the world title in the future. I would have rather that, but not for the world championship, because now it's predictable. You know who's going to win, so I disagree with that decision. I would rather have not bid for the world title so it could be unpredictable, and Kevin Knight can actually get the win, get a win over the world champion MJF. I mean, if we can give it to Brody King, we definitely can give it to Kevin Knight. So Kevin Knight, this match should have been non-title or the eliminator match, so that way if he wins, he gets a world title shot, rather against MJF or Hangman Adam Page after Revolution. I'd rather that than a world title match because although, yes, it's going to be a good wrestling match, but we know who's going to win because MJF is not going to lose that title to Kevin Knight, and we're not getting Kevin Knight versus Heyman at Revolution in Texas Death. It's going to be MJF, so we know it. So it's predictable. We know who's going to win. It's a no-brainer. Maybe some shenanigans happen and MJF gets disqualified or Kevin Knight gets disqualified, but in the end, I disagree with Colliion, or I disagree with Kevin Knight and MJF match being for the world title. Should have been a non-title match. And I see in the comments, my brother, the Hoss Knuckle Brew, go give him a follow. They're feeding my guy the Jet to Big Hebrew MJF. That's right, Big Hebrew. That's MJF's new deal now. Go get the shirt. It's on AEWshop.com or shopaew.com. Should be a good match, though. Yes, it's going to be a good match, but we know who's going to win. It's going to be MJF. So I disagree with that, but it's going to be a really good wrestling match. So in the end, I'm still going to enjoy the match. So then we have Tommaso Ciampa versus Jay Lethal. And this match was freaking we have a highlight of Mark Briscoe and Tommaso Ciampa. And then we go to the 8-man tag team match. Death Riders versus the Don Callis family. You got Claudio, Wheeler, Daniel Garcia, Pac versus Josh Alexander, Lance Archer, Rock Romero, and Trent Beretta. This was a good 8-man tag team match. Nothing too bad. I enjoyed the match, and what is surprising, because we usually have Yuta taking the pin and getting the pin, being the fall guy. This time he gets the pin and he wins the match for the Death Riders. Even Jon Moxley was shocked. Jon Moxley was like, what? So, yeah, it was good to see Yuta finally to pick up a win. And, he lost his hair now, so maybe they can do something with that. I would like to see the old Wheeler Yuta back, the one that we used to have when he was the pure champion, Ring of Honor pure champion. That was, and the BBC, the club. So I would like to see that back. I would like to see that. I want to see that group back. I want to see that group back in general. That was a really good group in AEW. With Moxley, Claudio, Danielson. I would like to see them back in AEW. So if we could have that group come back, the BCC, not BBC, I was wrong on that one. So I would like to see the Blackpool Combat Club come back because that was a really good faction right there. So after that, then we get the Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa facing Jay Lethal. What's up, CJD? How you doing, brother? Colliion was a great episode for show. And I hope Denver gets an AEW pay-per-view someday soon. I'm sure they will. So we had Tommaso Ciampa go up against Jay Lethal. Phenomenal match. I enjoyed this match, really so. This was, I would say, this is my match of the night. It was a really phenomenal match. You had Ciampa get the win here over Jay Lethal. So, again, enjoyed the match. And now we got the inspiration in AEW. Casey Lee and Jessica McKay. They are they are in AEW now. They left TNA. So I'm glad they're going to go for those AEW Women World Tag Team titles. And it'll be if they win, it'll be cool if they go for if they win, then they would have won the WWE, TNA, and AEW Women Tag Team titles. They'll probably be the only women group to ever do it. So it'll be good for them on theirs. They could be the Hardys or the Dudley Boys of the women's tag team division, collecting all these titles from different promotions, and they can go other promotions and collect some other women tag team titles. because I love how Tony Khan has the partnership, a dual contract where they can go and sign with other wrestling promotions and wrestle with them, or just go over there and wrestle for them in general. They don't have to sign a dual contract. But we got several in AEW. They're dual contracts with AEW, CMLL, AEW, New Japan. So I love that. So then we get the Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor, going up against Gypsy Mac and Tyra Resume. Hopefully I said that last name right. And this was a little good squash match. They're going to be facing the Inspiration on Dynamite. So that's going to be a fun tag team match, the Inspiration versus the Brawling Birds. So I'm hyped for that one, and I can't wait to see the Inspiration to win those AEW Women Tag Team titles. But of course, the Brawling Birds win. They had this new finishing move, which I love. It's called Two Birds and One Stone, and I really love this group. Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter are really good. They're a good tag team, and the women's tag team division is really coming together. Some really great tag teams in the division. Although I do want to see Jamie Hayter back in the AEW Women's World Title picture. It is good to see her have something going in AEW with the tag team of Alex Windsor, and they can go and challenge for these tag team titles and challenge other tag teams such as Sisters of Sin. Chris Statlander and Thunder Rosa might be a tag team, but we will see. They teamed up on Colliion against the Sisters of Sin, but we'll see if this is the future for Chris Statlander after being AEW Women's World Champion. But I think she'll get a good rematch against Tekla. CJD said Andrade, Tamara, Ishii, Don Callis versus Dead Rider, Chris Stanton, and Thunder Rosa. Hey, sisters. They still MJF and Kevin Knight promo to open the show. It was cool. Yep. So then we get Protokata. He's not with Takeshi anymore, so it's not Protoshida. It is Protokata. Okada versus Okada and Fletcher. They went up against Top Flight, and it's good to see Okada back. But I really hope – I would like to see, honestly, Bandito face Okada for the AEW International Championship and win it. I think and Bandito would be a great international champion. I would like to see him drop the Ring of Honor champion, maybe to someone in Ring of Honor. I've even argued to Andrade. Andrade can be Ring of Honor world champion. But I would love to see Bandito face Okada and win the AEW International Championship and go on a run with the international title, defending the belt in Mexico and other promotions. So that is what I would like to see. I don't mind Okada as the international champion, but I don't want to see him hold that title hostage like he did the Continental title. I would like to see him defend the title because I don't want to see any champion, in that matter, of any promotion, be part-time and hardly show up on the show. If you're the champion, show up, defend the title, and I would like to see Okada do that. So I hope Okada can defend that, drop that belt to Bandito. I would even take Andrade. Andrade would be a great international champion. So, yeah, and many people have criticized AEW for these mini titles, but I enjoy it because it gives them a purpose to face it gives them a purpose in the divisions. It gives them a purpose on the shows. I like when wrestling is treated as a sport aspect with tournaments and titles. Because that's how I like wrestling. I love stories. Don't get me wrong. Stories are good. But in the end, I love it when it's treated as a sport. And that's what I love about AEW with tournaments and New Japan with their tournaments, NWA with their tournaments and titles. I love the different weight classes that NWA has with their titles, the Junior Heavyweight Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, the heavyweight titles they have and middleweight titles they have in the territories. So I would like to see more of that. And I would like to see, honestly, I would like AEW to bring out a cruiserweight division belt. They got plenty of cruiserweights to do it with, and I would like to see that happen. You know, they got plenty of cruiserweights to go for that title, and that's what I would like to see. I say retire the trios titles and create AEW Cruiserweight Championship. I think that would be a great touch. And then I like different weight classes because it's more believable to see these wrestlers to go up against one another. But it's just me. Okay, if you're different, you're different. Wrestling is subjective. Everybody's got a different opinion of professional wrestling. The Hoss says Okada isn't dropping that belt until the rematch with Takeshita. True, but we've seen Takeshita as the international champion, although he was a great international champion. I would like to see him drop that belt to Bandito because I think Bandito would be a great international champion. Someone new, someone fresh. And that's what I want to see. But yeah, we had a great tag team match here, and Okada comes away with the victory. Although Top Flight put on a really great match and good showing. Okada, and Kyle Fletcher pick up the victory. And I love the pink belt that they have with Kyle Fletcher with the TNT Championship. And it's cool that they're going to do that with that belt. Because I love how TNA has with the International Championship belt. It's green now that Trey Miguel holds it. And I love that with Kyle Fletcher, that's a pink belt, kind of matches their gear and stuff like that. So I love that touch. So after that, you had Jet Set Rodeo come out after the match. Lost connection there for a minute. Nope, I'm back. All right, lost connection there for a minute. So we had Jet Set Rodeo come out, or Jet Speed come out, not Jet Set Rodeo. Hangman and Page was there, but we had Jet Speed come out. They interrupted Okada. Bailey said they might be unstoppable in the Continental Classic. Bailey beat Fletcher, which is true, and Kevin Knight beat Okada. Also true. Based on that, the math ain't mathing when it comes to calling themselves the greatest champions in AEW. Okada responded, "You never beaten me. You never beaten Okada." Well, they actually both did. Okay, not together, but they did it individually. And then, so we're going to get Okada and Jet Speed here later down the road. We got Jet Set Rodeo said they would defend the World Trios titles against Okada and any other member of the Don Callis family. So we're going to get Jet Set Rodeo defending those World Trios championships against the Don Callis, against Okada and any other Don Callis member that they choose. Now, Don Callis family, you got multiple Trios teams in the family alone. Okay, so why are they not included in these Trios titles? I don't. It blows my mind because you've got at least two Trios teams in the Don Callis family alone. Two. So they should automatically be in the Trios division. So I like this, and it wouldn't be bad to see Don Callis hold the Trios titles. But again, with me, in my opinion, the Trios division just isn't there. I mean, they have Trios, but there's not a lot of focus on it. When the Ops had it, they defended it after a year that they've had it, like 6 or 7 times in a year. It should have been defended a little bit more than that. So the Trios division, it seems like Tony Khan scrambles to get Trios teams together to put the titles on. And if you got to do that, then just retire the belts, bro. Because if you got to do that, it means you don't have a solid Trios division, and that means that the titles are not needed. So you can retire those titles, have Jet Speed be involved in the tag team titles. And then you have many other tag teams, the Outrunners, Private Party, LFI. LFI could go for those Trios titles. Roosh and Dralistico and Beast Mortos. And you got Sammy Guevara in the group now. So the Trios that are there, it's just there's not a lot of emphasis on these Trios titles to be defended. He just throws the titles on whoever, and then they hold the titles for a minute, and then they might defend them here and there, but that's it. Now, Jet Set Rodeos defend the titles a little bit better this year than the Ops, but I don't want to see Hangman back to that. When Hangman, after his first title run, he got thrown in the Trios division with the Dark Order, and then he was just lost in the mix for a couple of years until last year. And then, he's back. He was back in the world title picture and the main event scene, and now it felt like, all right, Hangman's actually feel more important now. But I've been a Hangman fan since the beginning of AEW. I didn't know of Hangman Adam Page before then, but then I went to research at Hangman Adam Page and his old matches in New Japan and Ring of Honor, and I'm like, man, I love this guy. And I care less about your opinion on him. Some people say, though, he's not a real cowboy, etc. So, look, you don't know his personal life, bro. If you go to his house and you see that he is not an actual cowboy and you can prove it, cool. But until then, it's just all hearsay. It's all talk. So you have your opinion, I have mine. I'm not going to say he actually did grow up on his family's farm and worked on the farm. So, yeah, he's a cowboy. But other than that, whether if he has a farm now or not, I don't know. Don't care. I love Hangman Adam Page. And, yeah, he's a cowboy in my eyes. So that's just my opinion. You have your opinion, so we can agree to disagree. But I don't want to see Hangman back lost in the Trios division. I want to see him in the world title picture. It's really funny how Cody Rhodes and Hangman Adam Page get the most hate in the wrestling community. The most hate. Like Hangman Adam Page and Cody Rhodes receive so much hate by the online, by people online. But when they're in the show up at the shows and the crowd's there, man, the crowd's popping for him. Crowd's popping for Hangman when he comes out. Crowd's popping for Cody when he comes out. But when it comes to IWC, bro, they just want to crap all over Cody and Hangman Adam Page together. That's why I say they're the most hated wrestlers today in the IWC. And they're my favorites. Cody Rhodes and Hangman Adam Page. And they both had great matches and stories leading up to the world title runs. And both of them are two-time champions. Hangman's a two-time AEW champ. Cody's a two-time WWE champ. Possibly a three-time champ this Friday. And possibly a three-time champ for Hangman at Revolution. I hope so. I don't know if it's going to take that's going to happen. I really hope Hangman doesn't lose. He can never challenge for the world title again. But if that happens again, it's honestly going to be a bad booking decision, and I disagree with it all day because I disagree with that in general. I would hate it. Whoever does it, in any wrestling company that does it, it should not be done. Now, if you do it as far as so-and-so is champion, I will never challenge for that belt as long as you are holding that belt. That's different. That's better. Because Heyman can still take the L as long as MJF is champ. He can never challenge for it again. Once MJF drops the belt to Will Ospreay or whoever later down the road, now Heyman can get back into the picture. And then you can set up even a number one contenders match with MJF and Hangman later down the road for that title. And it'll just be better story and better drama. But as far as never challenging for the world championship again permanently, that's a horrible booking decision and storyline. It didn't work with Cody when Cody did it in AEW when he was there, and it's not going to work with Hangman Adam Page. So if they make this decision and cause Hangman to lose for whatever reason, it'll be a bad booking decision, a bad storyline. That's just my opinion. Kevin Knight singles run would be a must-see TV. Yep. Next week on Collision, we have a 200,000 four-way tag team match. Winner wins 200,000 smackaroonies. That's right. And it's going to be with the Swirl, Private Party, and it's good to see the Outrunners back on AEW television. That would be a great mix for the AEW tag team titles. And then LFI's, Mysticos, and Rush. So that's what's set up next week for Collision as of now for tag team. Now we got Tony Storm and Timeless Tony Storm going up against Zeta Steel. Tony Storm won, but Zeta Steel had put on a good match against Tony Storm. And I enjoyed this match. And then one thing, I'm going to get to this a little bit later in more detail, but I've seen some this one account criticize Zeta Steel for wrestling in AEW and Ring of Honor on Ring of Honor TV. And again, I want to get to it later. I screenshotted the tweets, so we're going to talk about more in depth later. And criticizing Zeta Steel. Now, Zeta Steel is where she wants to be, and she's making money doing what she loves. So it doesn't matter if she wrestles in front of 100, 1,000, or 10,000 plus people. She's wrestling and doing what she loves. And she's having great wrestling matches. She's been having some really great wrestling matches since joining AEW. And she's had some in Ring of Honor as well. If you don't watch Ring of Honor, that's you, bro. But Ring of Honor has some really good wrestling matches on the show every Thursday. I do watch it after TNA Impact. But they still got some really good wrestling matches and some wrestlers on there I enjoy watching. And some more news about Ring of Honor here later as well with the what Tony Khan is now done with Ring of Honor. I have mixed feelings about it, and we'll give my opinion. I'll talk about it here later on. But the Anthony Bowens wants to join Hook in the Ops. This was a different turn of events. Anthony Bowens wants to join the Ops. I don't know if I want to see. There's a backstage segment with Hook and Anthony Bowens. I don't know if I want to see Anthony Bowens join the Ops. Maybe it'll be a good fit, but I don't know. The Ops, they with Powerhouse Hobbs leaving and Samoa Joe's going to be out for a little while. I'm kind of mixed opinions about the Ops. Now we have the women's tag team match with Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander up against the Sisters of Sin, Julian Hart, Sky Blue. Awesome women's tag team match. Rosa and Statlander come up with the win. And after the match, you had Tekla coming out, and she had some funny remarks in there about Thunder Rosa, about why she hasn't retired yet and stuff like that. So pretty good. But Thunder Rosa and Tekla have an AEW Women's World Title match this Wednesday on Dynamite. Don't see Thunder Rosa winning, but if she does, that'd be great because I do love Thunder Rosa, and I think her being back as women's world champion would be great as well. But I don't think they're going to end Tekla's title run that soon. So another predictable match. Now, had they done it without the title on the line, or if Thunder Rosa wins, she could get a world title shot like the eliminator matches that they do. If you win the match, you get a future world title shot. That would be great as well because then you can see Thunder Rosa winning. Andrade defeats Tomohiro Ishii, and unfortunately, Tomohiro Ishii has suffered an injury where he'll be out for some time. So prayers up for Tomohiro Ishii. It was revealed this weekend. So he had his final couple matches at New Japan New Beginning, which we'll be talking about here in a minute, and also on Colliion this weekend. So he's going to be out recovering from his injury. So prayers up for Tomohiro Ishii, and hopefully we can see the Pit Bull back soon. So, but great Colliion. I enjoyed it. Really great matches. So I enjoy watching Colliion every Saturday. If you don't, well, you're missing out. So that's all I gotta say. Let's see. The House Number 7 MJF beats Hangman. Hangman will win the Casino Gauntlet for another title shot as a heel. Possibility. But they would defeat the purpose, in my opinion, of this whole never challenging for the World Championship again, because he said he would never do it, and he'll give his word. So now I get the heel aspect, but we'll see. And I really did enjoy heel Hangman and Page. I did. And I enjoy that theme they used to have. But we just turned a babyface, bro. Hasn't really even been a full year yet. And you're going to go ahead and turn the guy heel already? I don't know. I don't like that decision, honestly. So in New Japan New Beginning was a really great show. I got to really fully rewatch it last night after Raw. Really great wrestling matches. And on my list now for a candidate of match of the year of 2026, Yota Tsuchi and Andrade. Tsuchi and Andrade is on that list now. They had a phenomenal match on Friday night. Great match. I was hoping Andrade would win the Global Heavyweight Championship. I want to see some real gold on Andrade, bro. Like IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, maybe some AEW International or Continental or National Heavyweight Championship or the TNT title. I want to see some gold on my boy, bro. I was really hoping he'd get the AEW World title, but not going to happen. But really enjoyed this show up and down the line. David Finlay in supposedly his final match in New Japan. We'll see where he goes, if he goes to AEW or WWE. I really hope AEW, because then he can still wrestle in New Japan. But if he wants to choose WWE, then I'll be happy for him as well. But I think he'd be a great fit in AEW. He defeated Fred Rosser. Strong open weight championship. Oleg Boltman defeated Tomohiro Ishii for the title. And due to his injury, again, Tomohiro Ishii is going to be out. He is going for some time with his injury, so prayers up for him. But Oleg Boltman is the new strong openweight championship. I really do like the strong openweight championship. It's a great title. AEW National Championship, Ricochet defended it, and defeated Chaji Ishimori on a really good wrestling match. El Desperado and Kushida defeated Jordan Oliver and Alec Price, which Jordan Oliver and Alec Price are all elite. So they have been on AEW as of late in tag team matches. So this was a really good tag team match as well. And I love El Desperado. El Desperado is cool. Love the mask and everything. So hope he can sign a dual contract with AEW as well, and he can be on AEW television. New Japan World Television Championship was on the line. El Fantasmo and Konosuke Takeshita. And this was my match of the night for the show. Really enjoyed this match. They went to a no time limit draw. Then El Fantasmo called Takeshita back out, said, "No, we ain't doing that. You and Moxley had that, and who enjoys that?" So he called Takeshita back in the ring. Another 5 minutes were added to the match, and then Takeshita won and defeated El Fantasmo. Is now your New Japan World Television Champion. He is now a Grand Slam champion. I've read he's won the IWGP World Title. And in New Japan World Television title, Strong Openweight Championship, and the Global Weight. So that is really cool. Love it. Congrats to the Konosuke Takeshita on winning the New Japan World Television Championship. Now they have the IWGP Tag Team titles on the line. Knockout Bros, Yoda Ice, and Asuka going up against the Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan, and Toa Liona. Knockout Bros won the match and retained their titles. And I would like to see in AEW, Gates of Agony get a shot at those AEW World Tag Team titles. That would be great tag team champions, in my opinion. And there's another trios they can go for the trios titles. I was really hoping they would and win it against the Ops, because I think they would be a better fit for it than Jet Set Rodeo. But that's just me. But hopefully the Gates of Agony can win the AEW World Tag Team titles at some point this year. Puts focus on the tag team division, tag team titles. IWGP Women's Championship was on the line. Fury going up against the forever Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena. Although she is a forever Ring of Honor Women's Champion, she did fall short to the IWGP Women's Champion Syuri. Syuri won. Great wrestling match by the women. There was one spot in the match where they were up on the top turnbuckle, and Syuri kind of did a suplex with Athena, and it rolled off of the top turnbuckle, which rolled into a armbar submission hold, and it was just smooth as it could be. I just loved it. So great match by the women in this one. And Alex Windsor challenged Syuri at Wrestle Queendom. That's where Will Ospreay's wrestling promotion. So love. That's going to be a great match. Love it. And we'll see if Alex Windsor can become the IWGP Women's Champion. And then the main event, again, my match of the year candidate on the list anyway. I released my list last night of some top matches so far this year that I have for my match of the year candidate for the men. IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship was on the line, and Yota Tsuji defeated Andrade in a great match. Again, I was hoping Andrade would win, but it didn't happen. But maybe he'll get a rematch later down the line. So, in other big news, I would really hope I can attend this. But July 11th, the G1 Climax is coming to America at the Now Arena in Chicago. I think this is the first time the G1 Climax has been in America. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is big. And I hope, like I said, I would love to attend this event. Hopefully I can get some, because this would be great to see live and in person. I've seen it several times on TV. So G1 Climax 36. Konosuke Takeshita won the 35 G1 Climax last year. And this year we got the G1 Climax 36 here in America on July 11th at the Now Arena in Chicago. So if you're in the Chicago area, I would highly recommend when these tickets go on sale, go. That's what I love about New Japan and AEW and even NWA. They have these tournaments to determine who will challenge the world champion. So we'll see who becomes the G1 Climax 36 winner who challenges for that AWGP World Championship. And last year's G1 Climax was great matches and a great tournament. So again, If you're in or near the Chicago area, and if you're not, like I said, I'm going to try and go because this is a big tournament. It's been a big tournament for New Japan for years, and I would love to attend it and be a part of it. So, the tickets are not on sale yet, but keep watch because they will soon. This was announced during the New Japan New Beginning show. So we're going to the G1 Climax 36 tournament here in America, July 11th at the Now Arena in Chicago. So big news in my opinion. Moving on to last night's Monday Night Raw. It was a good show, not bad. Really, I enjoyed it. There's some low lights and everything, but we had there's one low light, and I'll get to here in a minute. But one big highlight, and I'll get to that here in a minute as well. We had Division kickoff Raw. They told Adam Pearce that they did not attack Jey Uso backstage, but they will. They did tell that they will attack Seth Rollins as soon as they see him. And this was a really good segment, and we saw more masked men. Some are thinking that these masked men are Seth Rollins' new group. I don't know 100%, maybe. But Seth Rollins attacked the Vision. He attacked Paul Heyman and hit him in the back with the chair. And they did a curb stop on him. And then later in the show, we had Paul Heyman being rushed in the back in an ambulance. Or not later in the show, soon after that, Paul Heyman rushed in the back in an ambulance, bloodied up. And then he was put in an ambulance. Then he had the Usos attack the Vision. So Jey Uso, who got beat down on Friday, miraculously returned on Monday night. Miraculously. And he helped Jimmy Uso beat down the Vision. And then you had LA Knight show up in the ambulance. He was driving old Paul Heyman to the hospital. What a great guy. He's a great guy. Kind soul. Get him into the hospital to get treated for his injuries. So congrats props to LA Knight for putting his differences aside and helping the old man out. I'm just kidding. But this was a great opening to the show. This really did feel like a ruthless aggression attitude era like opening to the show. And I want to see more of this because this was a really great opening. So hopefully we'll get to see more openings like this and we'll get some more blood on WWE, bro. That's one thing. Paramedic megastar. Yeah. Love it. Make that a t-shirt, WWE. A t-shirt. But yeah, I would love to see this. I want to see more of that. I want to see more blood in some of these matches, especially like the Elimination Chamber and Hell in a Cell and these Extreme Rules matches that they'll have. It doesn't feel like an Extreme Rules match or anything like that when there's not some selling of some blood. And some we don't need blood. Well, honestly, back in the day when they said, this is a structure that changes careers and blah, blah, and they sold it, the blood, and then some of the wrestlers that really get hurt in the Elimination Chamber will be out for a little while because it changes careers. And then now it's just a 6-man scramble match. That's all it really is. Add to it. Add some color to it. Add some blood to it. I want to see first blood matches back in WWE. Those were fun matches, in my opinion. I would love to see WWE get a little bit more ruthless aggression and bring back blood, especially when it comes to personal rivalries. I don't like that WWE has been soft. They got to appease the sponsors, though, and TKO. Although TKO owns UFC, which has many worse over there. Bloody matches and all that, bloody fights and all that going on. But I'd love to see WWE bring back some blood. And I love that they did it in this opening segment with Heyman and sold the curb stomp and everything. Loved it. So let's see that back, WWE. See more of that, especially in your Elimination Chamber matches. And I even read online, not sure how true it is, but we'll see if this really does come true, that they're going to take a break from the Elimination Chamber match. And if that's true, I don't know how. I honestly would like for them to do that for War Games and go back to the traditional 5-on-5, because like a match like War Games, you have a match like that with weapons and the steel structure and everything, there should be some blood in that one. But you don't. That's why I do appreciate companies like AEW, because they do bring in the blood in those type of matches, like Blood and Guts and Texas Death Matches and all that. But I would love for a WWE to stop being so soft and bring back some blood. Dragon Lee versus Gunther, awesome match right here, really awesome. One part I would criticize is that Gunther did pull off the mask, and as he had him in a chokehold, there's at one point where you could clearly see Dragon Lee's face, and I'm sure somebody's going to screenshot that and share it all over the web. Have some respect, man. Just saying, have some respect for these luchas. They wear these masks because it's their tradition and everything, so have some class and some respect. This was part of the story angle with Gunther. We'll see where it leads. I'm honestly thinking it's going to lead to a Rey Mysterio match at WrestleMania, and he faced Rey Mysterio, another legend to retire. But have some respect for these wrestlers here, these luchas that wear these masks to be part of their tradition and everything. So if you're I don't know if anybody has screenshotted it or anything and posted it. Probably did. I'm not going to care to go look and research because I don't want to see it, because this is Dragon Lee and his, this is big to him and to the lucha style of wrestling. All I got to say, if you have, just have some respect for it, man. Next, we have the AJ Lee promo. This wasn't a bad promo, and she's back and she's going to defend the title the next time she was in the ring against any of the women in the back. So we'll see how this takes place. I really am hopeful for this, because I don't want to see AJ Lee become a part-time champion as well, and she can have some more matches. So I don't like part-time champions, never have, never will. That's why if she's going to be a champion, I would like for her to regularly be on TV and even defend the title. Doesn't have to be at a pay-per-view. I'm getting tired of saying PLE. I'm going to say pay-per-view, because it's confusing. PLE, pay-per-view. No, pay-per-view. So it doesn't have to be on just pay-per-view. She can defend the title on Raw or on SmackDown. Heck, even go down to NXT and defend the title over there. It could be a good workhorse type championship she can go defend in all three brands. Heck, even TNA. Let's see that. That'd be great. It'd be something different. And then we get Julia United States title. It could be the same thing. These mid-card titles were created to help for the women in the division, but it seems like they put a lot of focus on the Intercontinental title, but not so much the Women's United States title. So hopefully they can put some more focus on that, along with the WWE and World Women's Champion, and treat these titles as of importance and everything on the show, instead of rarely defended here and there. This is why I hate the 4-match pay-per-view format that they got going on. I would love for the WWE to return to completely separate the brands and to return to brand exclusive pay-per-views. It gives each wrestler on the brand a break every now and then, and you get opportunity for more storylines, and you get even titles like the Women's United States title, Women's Intercontinental title to be in the main event. I remember when we had those brand exclusive pay-per-views, and we had The Miz and now Nick Nemeth. Then he was Dolph Ziggler facing for the Intercontinental Championship in the main event of the pay-per-view. Let's bring that back, because that was cool. That was fun. It was different. But with TKO, it's probably not going to happen. So I got a lot of thoughts on TKO, but I'm going to hold it for now. Hall said, I want them to abandon the Becky feud and pivot to Roxanne Perez at Mania. Yep, that'd be good. Something new, something fresh. Although I am enjoying this heel Becky. I am enjoying it. Next, we get the OG El Grande Americano versus Rhea, or however you say the name. Not a bad match here. Pretty good. It was okay, but I am over the El Grande Americano thing. I know it's Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser under that mask, and we got Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. I want to see them back. I would like to see Ludwig Kaiser back in the Intercontinental title run. I would love to see Chad Gable back in the Intercontinental. Heck, even the World title run, dang gummit. Put Chad Gable in the World title run. He could be in the modern day Kurt Angle. Now, they're having fun with these gimmicks. Cool. That's them. That's cool. But I love Chad Gable, and I even love Ludwig Kaiser. And seeing them in these kind of gimmicks here, it doesn't do it for me. That's just me, my opinion. If you think otherwise, then have fun with it. That's you. But I disagree with it. I'm getting a little. Hopefully, they will end this at WrestleMania. We get the mask versus mask, and hopefully both of them come unmasked, and we're just done with this whole thing. And we can see Ludwig Kaiser return. Heck, you can form a group with Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne and some kind of heck, bring Imperium back. You have Imperium back with Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, Tyler Bate, and Pete Dunne. How freaking awesome that would be. I would love that. That would be a great group right there. Something new, something fresh. Seeing them back together. That's what I would like to see. But a good showing right here. And I want to get to my segment of the night. This is a highlight. My gosh. Rusev and Obafemi. You know what? If Danhausen does that to El Grande and the group, I would, I'll start becoming a fan of Danhausen. I'll be talking about him here in a little bit. But you know what, Steven? You got that. If it causes them to unmask and everything, that'd be great. So yes, we get Rusev and Obafemi. My gosh, this segment right here was bars, banger. A+++++. These two sold it last night. These two, I would love for this to be the main event of Raw next week. This has a main event type match right here for Monday Night Raw next week. And Rusev returned to WWE, and since then hasn't really done much in WWE. Hasn't really. He's had a few matches here and there, but he came back and I guess we thought he was going to have a good run, but he's had some matches here and there. He's even lost and even put on the main event on Thursday nights. But now he's back and he's in a good feud right here. I'd love to see Rusev in the Intercontinental title picture. Let's get Rusev in there. Let's get him challenging for the Intercontinental title again. And let's have him win the Intercontinental Championship. Heck, let's have him win the United States Championship again. He was a great United States champion. So, let's get these guys back. And Obafemi, they got a superstar right here. This guy, I said, if he's not the world champion by the end of 2027 or 28 or sometime in 28, if they fumble this guy, boy, I said I'll never watch WWE again. Of course, it was trolling and being funny, but it would definitely tick me off if they do not push this guy in the main event scene here in the near future, because Obafemi is hot. Obafemi has the crowd behind him. The crowd loves Obafemi, and I love Obafemi too. I love these the segments that he's had. Love the toxic segment he had with Kit Wilson, which hopefully Kit Wilson's okay. Has anybody checked on him lately? But I love Obafemi is great, and I would love to see him challenge for the world championship. He is world championship material. He is the superstar. Let's move on from these old timers and let's move on to the future. So, but Obafemi is great. The segment was phenomenal. Loved it. My segment of the night. And I really hope this is the main event for Raw next week, because this match right here is going to slap hard. Literally. These two are probably going to really slap each other hard. So, again, next week, Raw, Oba Femi, and Rusev. This is going to be a great match. This is going to be a great match. This is like Arby's. Bring on the meat. So we get Jimmy Uso versus Austin Theory. It's kind of randomly thrown together. Uso defeated Theory via disqualification. Yeah, of course, they come in and you had Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso. Looks like we will see them going for the World Tag Team titles here soon, probably at Mania. Now, I want to move on to this Rhea Ripley deal here, because her and Jade Cargill have some choice words shared with one another, and this is a big topic as of late online. They were exchanging words yesterday or on Sunday, and a lot of people, if this is a work, man, they're working good right here. Good work. But if it's not, and this is serious, man, I hope nothing happens to either of them where it hurts them, hurts their careers in WWE. Rhea Ripley shared this: not having fun, not friends, learn to work, and never lie to defame someone's real human character by breaking the quote-unquote fourth wall. And this is where some people are thinking that this is legitimate, like that none of this is like a work, that this is a shoot, this is real. But wrestling has proven before that they will blur those lines and break the fourth wall to sell it to you and to make it as a legitimate, serious thing. So I'm thinking that that's what this is. That's what this is. This is not something to take too seriously, but if it comes out that it is serious, now you're probably going to see this on WWE Unreal. I guarantee you. And maybe this was done for that. Okay. And I'm not a fan of WWE Unreal. I've shared my opinions about it. I don't like the peeling back the curtain and all that stuff. Just not. I don't like it. Not my thing. Ruins kayfabe and kind of and all. But this will probably be something that'll be on WWE Unreal. I guarantee you. So yeah, Rhea Ripley come out, and we have her talking about Io Sky, and she thanked Io Sky for bringing her out of a dark place and vowing to win the Blue Brands women's title. So maybe we'll now see Rhea go to SmackDown now, and that'll be something new and something fresh. She'll win the title, and after Mania, she'll be on SmackDown from here on out. She thanked Io Sky for bringing her out of a dark place, and she was congratulating Io Sky, and she is in the number one contenders gauntlet match next week for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. You got Lyra Valkyria, Bayley, Io Sky, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, and Ivy Nile in this for the challenge AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And it possibly we'll have Io Sky win this thing, and we'll have AJ Lee versus Io Sky. Or maybe it'll be Asuka. Maybe the whole AJ Lee and Kairi Sane segment last night was a teaser of that's what we're going to get. It's Asuka versus AJ Lee. I don't know. But we will see. Next, we will have the Intercontinental Championship. But before we get there, we had Danhausen appear. And he encountered Dominic Mysterio backstage, and he cursed him. And, well, later on, that cost Dom the Intercontinental Championship. We have a new Intercontinental Champion in a fire match. Match of the night for me. Drew McIntyre, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio had a great match for the Intercontinental Championship, and Penta came away with the victory. He is the new Intercontinental Champion, which I love. So glad he's the Intercontinental Champ. Way long overdue, in my opinion. But love that Penta is Intercontinental Champion, and I hope it's not an afterthought and is treated seriously, and he defends that title and defends it well. And we'll see if this will even get on WrestleMania. And times past, the Intercontinental Championship wasn't featured on WrestleMania a lot, but past few years it has, and hopefully it keeps doing so. Because the Intercontinental title used to be a big prestigious title back in the day. Used to be up there, treated as equal to the WWF Championship. I mean, we had the Great Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior title for title, or Intercontinental title for the WWF Championship at WrestleMania. And, we used to have the Intercontinental Championship defended and held by top superstars. Shawn Michaels, one of them. My GOAT. So we'll see what happens with the Intercontinental Championship after. Of course, again, fire match. Now let's move on to the ending segment with CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Great, pretty good segment. It was pretty good. I would love for this to have ended in a brawl, especially after Punk dropping the line of that he would bury Roman next to his father. I mean, those are some fighting words right there. You talk about my dad like that, who has passed away. The gloves are off. We fighting. This ain't no, we ain't talking no more. This just went from here to here. So I would love for this to come out in a brawl. If we get next week where Roman talks about Punk's his dog Larry passed away, rest in peace, Larry, then that turns into a fight, then come on. I mean, it should next week as well, because that's Punk's dog. So yeah, you fight. You're going to talk about his dog who passed away, and it was dear to him and AJ Lee. And yeah, but this should have been a fight too. Should have been a brawl, some more action instead of just talking. And I said it last night. If all we're going to get is Roman and Punk talking leading up to WrestleMania, that's going to be a huge letdown. The promos can be good, but I need to see some fighting. This is wrestling, not a talk show. So let's see some fighting. Let's not just see some wrestling. Let's see some fighting. Let's not just see some talking. All right? Let's see. This is one thing that I like other companies more than WWE, because they go out there and they'll have matches and they'll fight. It won't just be exchange of words. They'll fight. Now, there's a time where it doesn't need to end to a fight, but in this right here, like I said, when Punk dropped the bar on burying Reigns next to his father, that should have really ticked off Roman Reigns so much that he just slapped him and it turned into a brawl, and that's how Raw ended. You ended Raw, and you began Raw hot with the brawl that we had beginning with Rollins and the Vision, and then you end it with Reigns and Punk. That perfect from end to end. Well, not perfect, but great show from beginning to end. So, but again, good promo. Not too bad. Good promo. I enjoyed it. But again, it would be way better if it ended in a brawl. So, but moving on. Oh, that one ain't loading, sadly. So Zeta Steel. Well, the other graphic isn't loading right now, so there is this. Let me pull it up here. For some reason, my graphic ain't working. It's not popping up, but I will read it. Let's see. Where did it go? Nope, that's not it. There it is. This, not sure who this individual is. Let's see what Nahal said. He said somebody's going to get going heel, and I think it's Roman. The tribal chief is coming back. Yep, I think so. But for getting a part-time champ, I don't want it. Just putting it out there. This guy Joseph J. Alexander on Twitter. Not even sure who this guy is, but it went viral yesterday. He talked about Zeta Steel. Someone talked about Zeta Steel stocks are up. That's her thing, her stocks are up and etc. And he said this. She went from working in front of 300 people at the Performance Center to working in front of people less than 100, working to less than 100 people in a PBS studio, talking about Ring of Honor, which we'll be talking about here shortly. And there's some, nothing of how stocks, nothing of stocks, nor popularity, nor math actually works. There's some other exchange words there. I'm not going to repeat on here because family-friendly Christian type show. So let's look it up here. How many does how many fans attend NXT? Let's see. No, that's not what I want. I want the attendance. Let's get this up here. Let's see, roughly. There's no way it's 1,000. Anyway, it's not giving me an accurate number. But if you look at the NXT fan attendance on CW every week, it's not about 300 people. That's maybe roughly 100, maybe. Same thing as Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor moved to this PBS studio type thing. Tony Khan. Let me pull it up here. So, Tony Khan confirms Jacksonville is the new home of Ring of Honor. This is according to Fightful. They will begin their TV tapings in Jacksonville, Florida on March 1st, which was this past Sunday. During the tapings, Tony Khan announced that Jacksonville is the new home of Ring of Honor and that the promotion will return to the WJCT studio in 3 weeks on March 22nd. AEW is holding joint Dynamite and Colliion tapings on March 11th, 18th, April 1st, April 8th, April 15th, and April 22nd. Ring of Honor airs every Thursday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on the Honor Club. Move that out of the way. So many ads popping up. Goodness. On February 23rd, Fightful Select reported Ring of Honor will be filming a studio show in Jacksonville on March 1st at WJCT Studios. In recent weeks, AEW sources indicated this approach with talent being made aware of the tapings. We're told that this could end up being a regular home for Ring of Honor in the future. Now, I've seen criticism online about it. What is the difference between that and NXT every single Tuesday? None. Same thing for NXT every Tuesday is the same thing for Ring of Honor doing what they're doing on Thursday. Tony Khan has even stated that Ring of Honor is like his developmental brand. And that that's what he sees Ring of Honor as. And Ring of Honor, that's where they have some of their wrestlers go there to work on their stuff. But even still, they go there and have matches. And some great ones at that. I watch Ring of Honor on Thursdays. Now before TNA, since it's at 6. Sometimes if I can before TNA. If not, usually it's after TNA. I still have dinner with my family and such. So a lot of times it'll be after they go to bed and after I watch TNA and I get to watch Ring of Honor afterwards. Ring of Honor is a good show. I enjoy Ring of Honor. I watch Ring of Honor. I have favorite wrestlers of Ring of Honor. Heck, Bandito is the Ring of Honor World Champion. And I love Bandito. So for those online insulting Zeta Steel and criticizing her because she is wrestling on Ring of Honor, who cares? She's getting paid to do what she loves, and that is to wrestle. Same as any other wrestler on the Ring of Honor roster. They are getting paid to do what they love to do. And that is wrestle. And she countered this guy. I wrestled in front of 300 people at the PC? Question mark. Wow, that's news to me. Anyway, I'm very happy where I'm at, and I'm on my own journey. I'm sorry you're not investing in my stocks. So, thought that was a pretty funny line there. As you can see, every NXT on Tuesday, there's not 200 to 300 people there. There's probably 50 to 100 in attendance. Same thing as Ring of Honor. Now, when they do their pay-per-view shows, like Vengeance coming up this weekend and other, yeah, it's more. But so are the Ring of Honor pay-per-view shows. They have more in attendance as well. And this is not a bad move by Tony Khan. Now, I do enjoy when I attend a Colliion show and sometimes Dynamite, I get a Ring of Honor show afterwards and I get to enjoy more professional wrestling. And I get included in the TV taping. But this is something he's going to do because it would help with maybe travel costs or bringing all the equipment and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe. But still, it gives a home for Ring of Honor and the wrestlers and the talent. And he's really probably going to invest more into treating this as a developmental type brand for AEW to where eventually we'll call up more wrestlers. Now, I love seeing the Outrunners on there. I would prefer to see them in the AEW tag team division. But if they're going to compete for the Ring of Honor tag team titles, along with the Von Erichs, who are also on the Ring of Honor roster, Stephen Borden, Sting's son, wrestles on Ring of Honor. Now, and then I enjoy Ring of Honor. There's nothing wrong with Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is a fun show to watch, and it's got some great wrestling matches. No, it's not this big production type wrestling show with 5,000 to 10,000 in attendance and over 1 million viewers. And oh my gosh, who cares? That's what ticks me off about some of the IWC. They're always going off of, oh, the ratings. Look at the ratings they dropped. Or, oh, the fan attendance. Oh, look how many people they're wrestling in front of. It doesn't matter. I've been to several independent wrestling promotions, and a lot of times their shows are better than what I see on TV. And when I see people criticize, and whether it's NXT, I've seen people attack Blake Monroe for on NXT. She went from all the wrestling in front of thousands of 5,000 and 10,000s of people on AEW and the AEW Women's World Champion, and now the NXT and this and that. Who cares? If you're a fan, then go and watch her on NXT. Unless you're that adamant of not watching WWE because you're stuck in your AEW bubble. And the same thing for WWE, not watching an AEW show because you're stuck in your little bubble. Because you believe these lies from these podcasters out there who want to tell you that this sucks, that sucks, blah, blah, blah. When I come on here, I give my honest, open, and a positive review. I gave it on Saturday night on Elimination Chamber. The show was good, but the show was good, and Cody Rhodes not winning wasn't the reason. I didn't really overly enjoy the show. This is Elimination Chamber. It's supposed to really kick off in a high gear the road to WrestleMania. And like I said with the Danhausen, him showing up at Elimination Chamber. This isn't the Elimination Chamber. This is Raw for Monday. There's nothing against Danhausen. I have nothing against the man. I don't think he's garbage. I don't think he sucks. He's doing what he loves, and that is be this Danhausen character. It's just not something for me. So if I said I didn't like it, that's my opinion, just like your opinion. If you thought this was great and you think, hey, Danhausen's great, to AEW is awesome, cool. But where was that same energy when you was about AEW? Why didn't you watch him in AEW? Why didn't you go and watch him weekly in AEW when he was signed under AEW? When some out there that have said, that they'll anything WWE does, it's a glorified, it's great. They can basically do no wrong. It's better than the glorified independent promotion that I've heard several times. And then when it comes to AEW, it sucks. Look at the ratings. Look at this. This don't make sense, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But yet you're ecstatic that Danhausen, Ricky Saints, and Ethan Page, and Blake Monroe, and all of them are in WWE. But yet you didn't care to watch them in AEW. AEW is a great wrestling show. And a lot of times I enjoy it more so than WWE because the way they present wrestling is the way I like wrestling, the tournaments, the sport aspect, competing for the championships. I'm not much for the entertainment and talking in a talk show. Not much for that. Do I have fun and watch WWE? Sure. Do I have favorite wrestlers? Yeah. I mean, you see the hat on my head, Cody Rhodes. I do like Roman Reigns, but I'm not going to like that if he comes back as a part-time champion. I don't like part-time champions. Never have and never will. Didn't like a Brock Lesnar. Did not like a Goldberg. I don't like part-time champions. You're a champion. You represent the company. You show up at least every week. You don't have to have a match every week, but you at least show up every week and have some matches on the show. I don't get why we have this to where Roman Reigns is so higher and mightier now that he can't wrestle on a Raw or SmackDown. It's got to be a pay-per-view. Why can't we have Roman Reigns wrestle on Raw? Why can't we have Roman Reigns wrestle on SmackDown? Cody Rhodes is wrestling on SmackDown and Raw. Randy Orton, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. But Roman Reigns can't. This is why I've lost interest in Roman Reigns because he used to. But now he doesn't. And if you're a Roman Reigns fan, cool. If you like that, cool. That's your opinion. But I don't. And just because I don't, it's not the end all be all. Just like your opinion is not the end all be all either. Everyone has different opinions because wrestling's subjective. Everybody has a different opinion and a different way they like wrestling. I'm happy for Danhausen that he is getting that he has achieved his dream of being in WWE because that's a lot of people's dream is WWE. But AEW has become a dream of others as well. Tekla said that on the Chris Jericho podcast. I talked Jericho that it was a dream for her to be in AEW. So now AEW is becoming a home and a dream for others in professional wrestling. And people want to mock and joke about that. Why? What is wrong with AEW being why can't we just be happy and praise AEW as well as long as with WWE? I like how Eddie Kingston said it last year before the All Out pay-per-view. He was on a podcast, and he said, why you're in your little tribalism bubble or your WWE bubble, it's not exact words, but I'm just going to say this here. While you're in your little bubble of WWE and AEW, Eddie Kingston said, you're missing out on great wrestling on the other show. He said when he was back in the day when it was basically, WWF, the tribalism, WCW, he was pretty much all WWF, but then he turned on WCW and then ECW, and you saw there's some great wrestlers over there and some who inspired him in what he does today. But had he had not turned the channel to check them out, he'd have missed out on those great wrestlers. You do the same thing when you're in this little WWE or AEW bubble because you, for some reason, you just got to pick a side in this instead of just watching both and having fun. But there wasn't this energy for Danhausen when he was in AEW. There wasn't. It was, now he's in WWE. Now he's getting this guard up from the WWE fans. Of be happy and have fun and this and that. Where was that energy in AEW? Where was that energy? Sorry, but when you say stuff like that, and yet when I hear people criticize AEW and what they do, and then when WWE signs some AEW wrestlers, and that's, there are some wrestlers, they work out better in WWE than AEW, and vice versa. Some wrestlers work out in AEW better than WWE. Tommaso Ciampa is one. He went from being in these lost matches on WWE and thrown around in a tag team to now he's in AEW. He's the TNT champion from the get-go, and he's having some great matches over there in AEW, and I'm sure he'll win the TNT title back at some point, possibly be the international champion or continental champ, or go and wrestle in New Japan matches. Royce Keys, Powerhouse Hobbs. Well, we'll see. I've read a report that we'll see how true this is. I read a report that WWE had really no plans right now for Royce Keys. So if that's true, y'all really gonna fumble my guy this early? Okay. But we'll see if it's true or not. Royce Keys has been with WWE for over a month now, and we haven't seen him on television yet. Big Royal Rumble surprise, and then was on the Stephanie McMahon Know Your Story podcast, and then where is he at? So now I'm a fan of Powerhouse Hobbs. I'm a fan of /Rose Keys. I'm going to be a fan of him in WWE, and I really hope he does win the WWE World Championship as one of his goals. I really do. And we'll see how Danhausen does in WWE. Not saying he's going to do bad. Not saying he's going to be garbage or anything like that. I don't think that about him. I don't think that about I just did not like the segment at the Elimination Chamber. And if you did, then cool. That's your opinion. But I didn't. If you enjoyed it, cool. You had fun with it. I just didn't like it because that's not my kind of wrestling. I like that's just me. Nothing against Danhausen. Just was never a big fan in AEW either. Was he funny at times? Sure. The whole cursing thing, it was all right. But it's just not my cup of tea. And again, nothing against Danhausen. If he ever watches this or anything, nothing personal, nothing to you. But I might maybe he will grow on me here soon. Because this was a funny segment of him cursing Dom, and then later Dom lost the title. So maybe this will be something in the future with him and other wrestlers, causing them to lose. But we'll see. But we got Doug in the chat. What's up, Dougie? The Performance Center holds 300 to 400 at 100% capacity, technically. Whether that's how many people are there at a given time is up for interpretation. True. I love Ring of Honor. I do too. Ring of Honor is still a Tony Khan contract. I'm sure Zeta is making decent money and is happy to be wrestling all these prominent wrestlers on any platform. Facts. So somebody signs with AEW, we got to criticize it. We got to laugh. We got to mock them. We got to talk down on them. And, oh, you used to be so great over here. But when they go to WWE, it's like, oh, it's so good that you left that company. They were so bad for you and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what? That's the tribalism that I hate. That's the tribalism that I call out. That's the tribalism that really pisses me off because you want to say this about them over here, but when they're over here, oh, it's great. It's this. Yeah, let's sign it up and polish it and then boop. But then when it comes to, that's one thing I hate about some wrestling fans when it comes to WWE and AEW. You want to criticize AEW left and right, this, that, and the other. I've had my criticism of AEW before. Does it mean it's a garbage wrestling show? No, it's not. It's great. And again, it's actually a lot of ways more better than WWE to me. But that's to me. NWA Power. I watch NWA. And you know what? There's a lot of times in that 1 hour wrestling show, I find it better than some of the things I see on WWE and AEW. Some of the things. Same thing with TNA. So I love professional wrestling all around the board. I do love WWE, but with a lot of things WWE has become as of late under TKO, and it has really, I'm a fan, but not as much as how I used to be. I'm a fan of Cody Rhodes, as we see here this Friday night on SmackDown, challenging for the WWE Championship. And here's another thing: the whole hate on Cody Rhodes, bro. This is what also takes me off. You'd rather, y'all, there's all this hate on Cody Rhodes. They're talking about, with him losing the chamber, and then still gets a title match. It's part of the story. Why? Because Drew McIntyre screwed Cody again and again and again and again out of the WWE Championship, the Royal Rumble, now the Elimination Chamber. Tried to screw him out of the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. So Nick Aldis said, had it enough. Challenge. You're going to put the title line against Cody on SmackDown. We'll see if you can still make WrestleMania. Honestly, I want Cody to win here, and we get Cody versus Randy Orton one-on-one. They have a long history, and the story is there. So I'm hoping we get that this Friday on SmackDown, that Cody Rhodes wins the title, becomes a 3-time WWE champion, and we get one-on-one Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And all this thing about Cody turning heel and this and that. Why? Why would WWE turn Cody heel when he's the biggest baby face in the company, the face of the company, selling the merch, top merch seller, and has the fans lining up to sign autographs and get pictures left and right? Why can't we just accept Cody and be happy for Cody the way he is, instead of, some people have told me, oh, I didn't get what I want and this and that on some things, but you want to call Cody corporate, you want to make fun of Cody, mock Cody, call him boring, when he's just a big baby face loved by the fans and someone the kids to look up to. Because, we need someone like that in WWE, just like we got the heels, just like we have those that are the gray areas. Are they a heel or are they a baby face? And that's what Cody Rhodes is. I honestly don't want to see Cody turn heel. I don't. I like him right now as he is as a baby face. So we will see what plays out. Let's see. The booking thus far. What's up, Universalum? I think I said that right. The booking thus far is a 4-man at Mania. Cody, Randy, Jake. It might be that. And that's fine too. That would be fun. But I would love for Cody one-on-one with Randy Orton. I enjoy Danhausen, but the segment was silly at Chamber. I kind of get they're trying to play it on the Dracula introduction thing, but he didn't even get to talk. How is he supposed to sell himself to people not aware of his character? Well, if some of these WWE fans stepped out of their WWE bubble and watched some AEW, they already know about it. Not just AEW, but other promotions, New Japan and all that. Some of these fans that just watch WWE, they don't hardly know anything about New Japan or anything about any other wrestling promotion. They just know WWE, and when a wrestler gets to WWE, just like Jeff Cobb, which was JC Mateo. Now you got, which I hated how they changed the name. Why do you have to change the freaking name? The Tongans, Tonga and Tamatanga, they were beasts in New Japan. The Guerrillas of Destiny were one of the top tag teams in New Japan. Now in SmackDown and WWE, they're in the MFTs, but honestly, the MFT group has almost gone nowhere. Except feuding with the Wyatt Six for how long? How long they feuded with the Wyatt Six? It's been a long time. Y'all want to talk about Cody and Drew, but some of y'all haven't hardly brought up MFTs and Wyatt Six feuding with one another. Probably about the same time as Cody and Drew, probably a little bit longer. So, the Guerrillas of Destiny, they were a better team in New Japan. They were better over there. In WWE, they're okay, but not so much. I would like to see them as treated better in WWE as a dominant tag team like they used to in New Japan, instead of whatever they're doing with the Wyatt Six. And the Wyatt Six, I don't get why they always have to have a match. Finally, we got a one-on-one match with Solo and Uncle Howdy last week, which is a good match, really good match. So let's see more of that. Not everything has to be in this 8-man or tag team format. We can have Solo and Uncle Howdy one-on-one. Let's push Uncle Howdy as this dark character in WWE, just like the Feed was, just like the Undertaker was. Let's push something like that for Uncle Howdy to give him that aura and that everything and more a serious type dark character. I do miss how WWE used to be before TKO. I really do. I really do. TKO has really hurt WWE as far as what we used to get. And I'm talking like before PG era. Before PG era, WWE, Ruthless Aggression, it was great. Awesome. Then when PG era came along, I would say all TKO, some had to do with Vince McMahon. But when it went PG and public traded company and all this stuff, then that's when it really kind of hurt WWE, because a lot of things at WWE over the years have gone soft. Although, yes, I am still a fan and still have love the wrestlers there and still watch every week. But I do, when I go back and I watch the old Ruthless Aggression of WWE and how we used to get Randy Orton pushed as a young champion. We used to get all these young stars pushed in the main event scene. You used to get all these great stories and the extreme matches and the blood and the everything. It was just better. So, under TKO, we thought it was going to be better, but honestly, it hasn't. Especially them overcharging the fans on the tickets, even some of the merchandise that are on WWE Shop. Some of it, not all of it. I'm sorry, I'm not paying over $100 for a puppet that they tried at one time, or they still might be trying. So TKO is just overcharging, and I read somewhere that they were trying to do it like I was listening to Jeff Jarrett, his podcast. Him and Connor were talking about it, and they're talking about how TKO is trying to do WWE like the UFC and the ticket prices and stuff. Yeah, good luck with that. Eventually, fans are can't afford, not that they don't want to go, and then they're going to stop buying tickets to the show. And then when they see AEW tickets are far less cheaper, that's why I think we've seen the growth in AEW and TNA as of late, because of these overcharged ticket prices. We've seen the growth in the fan attendance and even the viewership. It's a lot more interesting on these other shows at WWE. The fans do like Cody, but don't want him to be the champ. Why? He's a babyface. Why? What's wrong with him being the champ? And if you don't want to be a champ, that's you. But some of us fans that are Cody fans, we do. Cody has to give Cody an interesting story. Yeah. I think with Randy Orton, it would be an interesting story. I'm not a fan of Cody turning heel. Danhausen is the new R-Truth. R-Truth is retiring this year, and most other wrestlers. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Comedy act. Solo took out Jacob in the past and Jay recently. Yep. They will be building up the new bloodline again soon. Yeah, we'll see. Are we going to do how NWO used to do? Overdo the bloodline? Let's see. Would you like Saudis owning WWE or TKO? Not really. Not really. TKO and Saudi don't know professional wrestling. They don't. TKO is corporate. All they care about is money. That's it. Now, if a lot of this booking with Triple H is just him and his mindset and is not TKO influence, then get Triple H out of there and let's get HBK in or somebody else. Because when we get the same old over and over, then yes, we can even throw Cody in there. Then instead of these new stars like Trick Williams, Oba Femi, etc., then, eventually we're going to have to move on. Eventually. But I'm a Cody fan. I love the Cody Rhodes, and yes, I would like for him to be champion. The podcast confirmed that they didn't actually say they have no plans for Royce. What was reported was they asked if there were any changes, and nothing reported. That's all. Yeah, that's why you gotta be careful what you read online. Not everything's true, but not everything is wrong. Record low ratings, record low attendance equals record high ticket prices. Yeah, you can say that. 300 shows a show to 125. 300 to 125 shows a year. Yeah, they went down a lot. Phases. Sometimes I watch some more than others. I love all the promotions. I'm extremely happy to exist. Yeah. I mean, there's times where WWE has been better than AEW. There's times where AEW's been better than WWE. Sometimes TNA's been better than both. And NWA. Oh, just did that one. Do you hear that TKO has put WWE up for sale? I don't know about that, but you gotta be careful what you read because you don't know. So there's been a lot of reports that have gone out there, especially from some out there, won't call any names, that they have been proven that they have lost their credibility and what they reported because maybe it was just a bad report. They got some bad info. So if that's the case, then, nobody's perfect. But we'll see if that actually happens. Saudi offered $15 billion. Yeah. Saudi gets a hold of it, WWE's done, and it won't be the same WWE anymore. Endeavor, owner of TKO, wants $20 billion. Yep. He did say that UFC and WWE are both worth $20 billion apiece. So $40 billion. So we'll see if Saudi actually does it. I don't know if I want that, though, but that's just me. Moving on to AEW Revolution. So far, we have 4 matches, but these 4 matches right here, stacked. FTR versus Young Bucks going to be a great tag team match. We'll see if even Christian and Copeland return. Bandito and Andrade, just announcing that is just match of the year. It's going to be on my list. It's going to be another one added to my list. So just saying. Moxley versus Takeshita in a no time limit. So Takeshita just recently won the New Japan World Television Championship. Let's see if he can win the Continental Championship as well. That'd be cool. Just like he was the AEW International Champion and the Strong Openweight Champion. He holds both AEW and New Japan titles again. And Moxley and Takeshita is going to be a great match. And then we get Texas Death Match. Heyman Adam Page versus MJF. And just like I'm pulling for Cody Friday night, I'm pulling for Heyman Adam Page also on Revolution. I love Heyman Adam Page. I love MJF as well. But Heyman Adam Page is my guy. And I want him to win because I also don't want him to not ever challenge for the AEW World Championship. The Revolution is looking great so far. I'm sure we'll get a women's title match. It might be Tekla versus Chris Statlander. I really do believe we'll get Megan Payne and Willow for that TBS championship. And for the women tag team titles, I think it'll be Inspiration versus Babes of Wrath. And, just a lot of potential. Wrapping up here. We're going to be wrapping up here now. Your comments. Kind of like the idea of Logan becoming face, at least now. Wouldn't matter. People would still boo him. I don't think they can turn Cody heel at this moment. Not sure. Not sure. We'll see. I really hope they don't turn Cody heel, but that's me. I want Heyman to turn heel. Your thoughts on that? I don't know. I like Heyman the way he is now. I like Heyman the way he is now. It would just we just turned him babyface a year ago, and just to turn him back heel again, I don't want to see that flip floppiness. That's just me. But I did like the heel Hangman, and I did like the heel theme that he had. So I don't know, mixed opinions on that. I just think Cody's a better babyface, and I think Hangman he's a gray area. He can be that face and heel. I want Heyman to take Moxley's belt. That'd be cool, Continental Championship. But to only end his AEW World Title reign so soon at 2, I'm not for it. Big Hebrew MJF is not losing losing on his birthday. On his birthday, I disagree. It can happen. AEW is a little more unpredictable than WWE at times. I agree. MJF kicking booty and getting AEW ratings. Yeah. Heyman can too. Dynamite beat NXT 2 out of the last 3 weeks in the ratings. I don't care about that. Honestly, I don't. And that's actually false, because NXT 2 weeks ago had 744,000 viewers, and Dynamite was 692. But then again, I don't care about the ratings battle as a flex on who's better. I don't. I like seeing the ratings go up, especially for these shows, for Dynamite, for TNA, for NXT, because a lot of these shows are better than Raw and SmackDown most of the time as of late. So some of that is a little bit false, because 2 weeks ago NXT had 744,000 in the ratings, and then AEW Dynamite at 692. But I don't care about the whole ratings competition battle. Oh, look at here, Raw got 3 million, Dynamite got because WWE has been around for 40 freaking years. So yeah, they have a bigger, more loyal fan base in AEW. AEW will get there at one point. If things will keep going the way TKO is running WWE, high ticket prices, and overcharging the fans on ticket prices, and if by some chance they do sell to the Saudis, then yeah, it might hurt WWE. We'll see. But it's hard to. Mainly, a lot of people watch WWE because of the wrestlers. They're fans of Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, etc. The list goes down the line. Mary Ripley, Becky Lynch. If these wrestlers jump ship to AEW, guarantee you those ratings will flip. So, but then again, just because you got AEW, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes over WWE, you got an alternative in AEW with Heyman and MJF. Appreciate the new and younger, fresher faces. Appreciate an alternative, because without it, they would be stuck with one, and honestly, it could get boring. Logan is not turning face. Seth is turning face. Becky is turning face as well. They trademarked Last Kick for Becky, and that was her face name in the past. Last Kicker. Yep, Last Kicker. I thought they already trademarked that. She had that like 10 years ago. Seth babyface turn is awesome and much needed. He had all black hair, kind of like he did when he was a babyface. And I like Seth Rollins. He's cool. I'm not opposed to Seth. And a lot of people have claimed he is the modern day Shawn Michaels, or Shawn Michaels 2.0, etc. Some have said that about AJ Styles as well. But I like them for who they are. AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, this whole 2.0 and this and that, they're just who they are, man. But I love I love Seth Rollins, and I'd like to see him as world champion, honestly. He could be a 3-time world heavyweight champion. But I love Seth, I love Becky, so them turning face would be pretty cool. But yeah, those are my thoughts on professional wrestling this past weekend. Instead of just doing one review show of anything, I just threw it all in one. This is the beauty of Unfiltered Wrestling, because I get to talk it all at once, and other news and stuff like that, and get to get some stuff off my chest because of some of the things that are going on lately, especially in the world of professional wrestling. What I'm going to do is tonight I will do an NWA review after I watch NWA Power. And I'm also bringing back the Elite Bible Devotions. I've slacked on that the past couple of months. And with the things going on in the world today, I got a message of hope. So I'm going to be doing that as well. Possibly later on tonight, recording it for tomorrow. But we'll see. But that's what I got coming up. Another Unfiltered Wrestling coming this Friday to review NXT, Dynamite, and TNA and Ring of Honor even. So be in watch of that. And then this weekend on Saturday, we will I'll be reviewing Colliion possibly if I ain't got work. I've been doing a lot of extra shifts lately, so if they call me in, I'll probably do it. And hey, appreciate the subscribe. Appreciate the subscribe.
What do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me get it proper. There you go. Thanks for the subscribe, my good friend Universalum. Hopefully I said that right. If you have an X, Instagram, TikTok, even Rumble, follow me on there. Nice meeting you as well. I can't wait for Rhea to beat Jade Cargill. We'll see. Honestly, out of that, it could go either way. I would be happy if whoever wins because I'm a fan of both. But the storyline and drama is pretty interesting. But I appreciate all y'all coming in the chat. Thank you, Universal, for subscribing. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm almost to 600. Thanks to Universal, I'm now 12 away from 600. I would like to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. Hopefully more by the end of the year. Rumble, growing that, so go follow me on Rumble. So go follow me there. Aaron Loves Wrestling, same thing. I'm actually live there now. So follow me on Rumble. Follow me on X. I'm almost to 7,000 followers on X. I just need about 60 more followers, and I'm at 7K. So thank you to everyone who has followed me as of late. Thank you for supporting Aaron Loves Wrestling. I'm here to give you honest, open, positive wrestling reviews. Does it mean everything's going to be peachy? No. I'm still going to give an open, honest, positive review, even if I'm critical about things. Because I'm not going to be critical and say, oh, this is final and what I say is the end all be all. No, if it's my opinion, it's my opinion. If you come in the chat and you disagree that, like y'all have said y'all love the Dan Houseman segment, cool. I didn't. Does it mean it's garbage? No. You had fun with it. Love it. You're loving professional wrestling. The same thing for anything else. You know, I prefer if you prefer one company over the other, like I prefer another company over the other, cool. We can agree to disagree. We can even talk about it. Talk about it in the chats. If you're a podcaster, you want to come on here, we can talk about Unfiltered Wrestling. Let's do it. Because I'm all open for the debates. I'm all open for talking with others and talking about professional wrestling. We may change each other's minds. We might not. We might just agree to disagree. And if that's the case, cool. Everyone's got an opinion on professional wrestling. It's all subjective. Everybody has a different opinion, just like everybody has a different opinion on everything else in life. But we can all come together for the love of professional wrestling because that's what wrestling does. It unifies us as wrestling fans, or it should. Well, with some of the tribalism that I combat because I hate with WWE versus AEW and all that, then that's when that's what I'm trying to break. Because if you're just solely WWE and you're missing out on AEW, well, you're missing out, and vice versa, AEW to WWE. There's some good stuff in WWE as well. But if it's not your cup of tea, just because it's not your cup of tea, then that is fine. But don't make it as, oh, well, because this is better and, the other one sucks. No. When it comes to wrestling, if you think one is better over the other and you watch it more than you do the other, cool. I'm cool with that. But the old tribalism, like the ratings just a second ago, nothing personal against you, Universal, but the whole ratings thing of so and so got more ratings here, so over so and so, because this that I don't care about. Just like when I see WWE loyalists and they start talking about, Raw got 3 million and Dynamite got 600,000. So what? Does it mean that Raw was actually better than Dynamite? Really? Does it really mean that? Just like if you go watch your favorite football team. I'm a Cowboys fan. They always pack the seats and they get 100,000 millions of viewers every week watching a football game. Haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years now, going on this year. Love my team, but man, we got to get it together and bring home a 6th Super Bowl trophy. But doesn't mean that they are the best team in the NFL. Well, not winning a Super Bowl in 30 years, no. They're my best team in the NFL, and I will always back them. Same as the Jags. I like the Jags. They haven't won a Super Bowl at all. So they have lesser in attendance and ratings than the Cowboys do. But they had a better year this year than the Cowboys did. Should have went all the way to the Super Bowl. But I got my comments on that Bills playoff game. Anyway, another topic, different day. But still, doesn't mean they were better. Cowboys were better than the Jags because they had more fans in attendance and the ticket sales and the ratings and the merchandise sales, and they're worth more than the Jaguars. No, Jaguars were 13-4 and had a phenomenal season and should have went all the way to the Super Bowl. Should have, would have, could have. They didn't. It fell short. There you go. But Jags were a better team. So just because that the ratings, the ticket sales, the merchandise sale, all that is more than the other doesn't mean it's actually better. Just saying. But actually, so that's my opinion. I love all y'all. Appreciate all y'all. Thank you for coming to the chats. Have fun tonight with NWA Power. We got a great NWA Power show in store. We got the AEW World Tag Team titles on the line with the Immortals going up against the Country Gentlemen. We got Trevor Murdoch versus Pretty Boy Smooth. We got a 4-way eliminator match between Alex Taylor, Tyler Franks, Bryce Hanson, and JAC. And we got Alex Misery going up against Aaron Stevens, formerly known as Damien Sandow with WWE. And we also got women's action in a submission match. Kylie Page going up against Herrera. Hopefully I said that right. But yeah, that's what's in store for NWA Power tonight. Check it out. It's great. I love it. Great wrestling. Dynamite this week. We got great matches in store. Jon Moxley versus Hechicero, a one-on-one match. We got Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin, a tag team match against Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. We also got the AEW Women's World Championship match, Thekla versus Thunder Rosa. We got the Brawley Birds, Jamie Hayter, Alex Windsor going up against the Inspiration. And we got AEW World Championship match, MJF versus Kevin Knight. So that's what's coming up on Dynamite tomorrow night, and that's what we got coming up on NWA Power tonight. You also got NXT tonight, so if you like NXT, cool, go watch it. And also keep watch again for my Elite Bible Devotions I'll be possibly airing tomorrow. So keep watching that. Got a good word coming for everybody. So again, appreciate all y'all. Love all y'all. And just remember, everyone, love professional wrestling.
From the first bell to the last stand. This is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love. And this is Aaron Loves Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd laboratory days to the modern age. Every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rhodes to Bright Marquee. Wrestling is in my blood, there's no hate in me. Hear the roar when the music hits, goosebumps when the champion appears. Every style, every fight, every ring, one love for the business. I am here to bring the love and the passion in every review. Aaron loves wrestling. AEW, WWE, NWA, New Japan, TNA. It doesn't matter about the brand, I love it all. Aaron loves wrestling. My heart is in the ring. No walls, no wars, just the passion for the business that I bring. Aaron loves wrestling. Say fire. One world, one voice, taking us higher. AAW, Monday Night Raw to Friday Night SmackDown, Saturday Night Main Event under the neon lights. And NXT has the rising stars. The future is looking pretty bright. Dreams get built in every fight. From Wednesday Night Dynamite to Saturday Night Colliion, New Japan battles, hearts on fire. From the Tokyo Dome to Arena, Mexico, in every zone, every style's a kingdom, every ring is a throne. Give the way to AAW, every New Japan pride. TA line on the way, AW, A on the rise. Different banners, but the same love and passion pounding in us all. Aaron loves wrestling. Every brand, it doesn't matter about the three letters, from the local hall to the global star. Oh my God, that sound when the entrance hits, we are all ready to start. Aaron loves wrestling, side by side. No tribal lines, just love for the business worldwide. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. Cuddy fights for the dreams of us all in red, white, blue. And man doesn't stay down, he is always fighting for redemption. Mox bleeds for the business, bringing out the passion in us all. Okada is the rainmaker, the money rains down with every title reign. Cena's never giving up the fight. Fear strikes in the heart of man when Undertaker appears. Sting is the vigilante that every villain fears. Legends will always be remembered, they never retire in our hearts. They will live on forever. From Flair to Michaels, from Hogan to Cena, from Omega's rise to acknowledging Reigns. Different paths but the same damn ring, same damn love for professional wrestling. Say it loud, I love wrestling. Say it proud, I love wrestling. No hate, no tribalism, just love for the business until the end of time.
You know the war goes on your chest. If you love this business, then you're the best. No keyboard warriors, no hate, no lies. Just respect when the warriors rise. From the curtain rise to the final pin, we all are chasing that moment when the bell rings. It's more than title belts, it's more than glory. It's our love for professional wrestling in every story. So pull your hearts up, it's all one love. Every fan's got a place, from every city to every nation. We're united by a love for professional wrestling. Aaron loves wrestling. Hear the crowd with every chant, every heartbeat, and with every tear. Aaron loves wrestling. This is our life. From the rise of a hero to the falling of wrestling. Never ends. From the opening bell to the final ring. Aaron loves wrestling. We all just love listening. AAW, no more hate. Just love professional wrestling. AAW. The American cowboy will always ride for this. Dr. Love will always share the love of professional wrestling. For every ring, every wrestler, and every fan. One word, One passion, one truth that I'm confessing.